Carcassonne truly is one of the most important games in modern hobby culture. It is responsible for introducing scores of players to the better side of the hobby, to playing games that are more engaging, have more choices, more strategy, better interactions than traditional mass market games, for example. If you played hobby games in the early 2000s, you remember that it was Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, Catan. They really felt different. They just had a whole other level of ways to engage you as a player. And like many of you, I have some really, important memories connected to playing Carcassonne. I remember there was a time, maybe in 2006, when I played it with my then girlfriend, now wife, and we didn't have any kids then. We started playing Carcassonne on a Saturday after lunch, and we just kept going, and we played all day, like late into the night. We wake up the following morning, we play some more, and we play most of the Sunday also. So there's that memory of that epic session of Carcassonne. And now the game is still around, and I can play with my kids. Now they are old enough to discover Carcassonne. And again, I would play with them not because of nostalgia. Oh, look what we played in my day. But because it is a living thing, because Carcassonne has remained such an important presence. So it is with a true sense of joy that I can introduce you Carcassonne, the 20th anniversary edition, a deluxe edition that just looks amazing. And maybe again, before this, in the 1990s, where many people in the hobbies were teenagers, a deluxe edition of a game would have meant more plastic, bigger box, louder production. Now, it means beautiful, it means tasteful. Just the elegant design of this box. This has to be one of the most elegant boxes that I have in my collection. And this video will be mainly a component overview, because gameplay is the one that we have been loving for 2 decades now, but it has now been embodied in a set of components that just looks amazing. Just starting from the scoring board, I'm sure there is a technical word for printing cardboard in a way that some of the images look shiny. But I don't know what the word is, but I know that this looks great. And the tiles are printed in the same technique, and so we saw the components just popping out and, of course, elevating the aesthetic experience of playing the game. Stickers, they're used to dress the meeples, and as you can see, you don't need them all, so that's why these are some spares. I guess you can even dress some meeples from other games with these spares from this game, and I'll show you later more in detail what the meeples look like. But as you can see, the level of detail, every illustration for the meeples, every sticker that will turn a meeple into a person is different, no repeats, in front and back. Also, there is no direct connection like, oh, these go on the yellow ones, these go on the red ones, these go on the black ones. You can just mix and match. They're purely decorative. They have no effect on gameplay, but again, huge effect, in my opinion, on the experience of gameplay. We have the main rulebook and a rule sheet for the expansions. I'm old enough that I remember a time when the farmers were not considered an expansion. They were just farmers there with the knights and the monks and the thieves that have been replaced by the travelers. Just because that's a sign of the time, of course. The travelers. So, the tiles, again, it's Carcassonne, so it's all about the tiles. And as I was saying, these tiles are really nice because they have this printed technique, whose name escapes me, but you'll tell me, I'm sure you will. And so here we have, of course, bits and pieces of cities. We have gardens that are to be used with the Abbot expansion that comes with this game. Number 20 will appear quite a bit. Look at that. See the roofs. Some of the roofs, those flags, how they just shine that way. And the level of detail, you almost feel like the closer you look, the more like you feel like you're just falling in. and elephants and lions, because of course those are very common in medieval France, but that would be missing the point. Carcassonne was never about, of course, historical detail. It was about awesome gameplay. It was about a very intuitive puzzle that still gave you so many things to decide, so many interesting decisions to make, so many different ways of scoring, which again was very innovative by the early 2000s. So you're gonna have again a lot of tiles for the base game, and then we have the mini expansions. We have the abbots, which is not a bunch of tiles, but it's a bunch of meeples that will be scored differently. You may know the abbot from previous expansions. The river, that one does involve tiles because it simply affects the landscape, again giving us different places to attach our tiles to. We have another mini expansion that does come with tiles, and it comes with tiles that have those arrows. There are 3 different kinds of arrows for 3 different kinds of effects, and so basically when you place a tile with the arrow, if the arrow, as you place it, is pointing against another tile, instead of just into the dark emptiness of whatever playing surface you're using. When you place it, if it's already pointing towards a tile adjacent to it, you get a special effect indicated by the icon. If you place it and it's pointing towards the empty space and later a tile is added, then you also get that benefit. So whenever the arrow touches another tile, you score the benefit indicated by, you receive the benefit indicated by the icon. And again, of course, all the aesthetic beauty of the tiles of this edition is right here. And the meeples, again, now they're dressed, they are really wearing their fancy clothes. And just to give an example of what they look like once you dress them in their Sunday clothes, I guess, in their 20 edition. And just each meeple really is a different person that indicates a different profession, different attitude. Just look at a little detail. Here we have this sort of like pharmacist, alchemist, this guy, or gal, I should say. Oopsie. And again, they're not the stickers that make each meeple unique. Again, they're not connected to specific factions. But I guess you could, once you look at the sticker sheet, you may figure, okay, this is going to be a faction of people who specialize in this or that profession. And you have diversity, variety in the way people look, in the gender, not just the occupation, again, ancestry. And I like that, because again, it's a game, so we can do that. There's no reason to be loyal to, the actual medieval France. Or in any case, knights or robbers, farmers, travelers, they didn't paradrop on roads or things like that the way they appear to be doing. And this is the abbot, one of the mini expansions that, again, you may know from previous editions. So playing with this edition here will definitely give you play options that you may already be familiar with previous expansions, plus the new 20th anniversary expansion, the one with the arrows. But to me, really, what's different is like it looks so absolutely amazing, so stunning. This edition has to be one of the most beautiful, elegant games that I have in my collection, and I'm happy to have it, and I can't wait to show it to my kids and play with them so that the tradition can continue. Carcassonne 20th year anniversary or 20th anniversary edition, just a stunning production.